From 1983 to 2019, the music industry has changed quite a bit, from LPs and cassettes to MP3s. You are one of the few artists who can truly say that you've made it through all of those storms. First question is, what do you attribute to your longevity and your staying power? And second question, are there any artists in Houston that you haven't worked with that you would like to work with?
Well, the first question is that just being motivated to keep doing the music is the main thing I attribute to the staying power, but also, like we said earlier, just keeping an eye on what's going on in the world and know what to write about. See, the key to anything that you do is to be on time when you do it. You can do something that's good, but it's out of season. You're not doing it locked into the time it needs to be done. So it may not get the same effect, even though people might appreciate it. So what I try to do is not be one of those old school rappers now who always the get off my lawn type of old rapper. The majority of the rappers I work with are young rappers now, 20s, 30s. I work with a lot of young artists. So even though we might have different styles, we still come together and link up and work together, and they introduce me to their fan bases, I introduce them to mine. So we kind of bridge that gap. So I think that's one of the things that keep me going. Plus, you have to, within yourself, know how to evolve with the times. I can't, just like we was talking about some of my first raps, I can't still be rapping like that in 2019. I can't be, yes, y'all, and I can't do all that. They're gonna look at me like I'm crazy. Like, you gotta evolve, and you gotta grow within in your artistry. But, what's the second question?
Are there any artists that you haven't worked with that you would like?
In Houston?
In general?
Yeah, in Houston, I work with pretty much everybody. I work with Face. Once I worked with all the Ghetto Boys, I was good. Zero, all the people that I listen to that I like. Look, Fofo, we working next week. But it's a lot of artists that I have worked with in Houston pretty much, but I can't think of just one in the city that I would be. Because I work with Bun, and I wish I could have did something with Pimp C. Me and Pimp, we knew each other, but we never worked together. So, I would have to take it outside of Houston, and I would have to take it outside of rap. If the planets lined up and I got Stevie Wonder on the song, then I'm good. That's the best I can say. Man, it came from the beat. I got a homie, man, that used to send me tracks all the time, and he's from Virginia, and he sent me the beat. And I heard the beat. The first song was The Sorcerer's Den. And when I heard the beat, I was like, man, it seemed like the idea just started just falling out my head. Because I was half asleep, just kind of just playing and going through it. And the idea started just falling out my head. The concept was just born. It ain't something I had to strain and think about. And then once I did it, a lot of people liked the song. So I said, I'm going to do a part 2. Then it was like, okay, I'm going to do a part 3. It's like, okay, now I'm gonna do a part 6. So, it's been going on nonstop. So, but the hardest part is to figure out to just end it or to keep, because a lot of people, like KO was saying, a lot of people wanted to keep going. They wanted to keep going, but I remember how Freddy Krueger it got corny after a while. Once you get to Friday the 13th part 20, Jason in space, it's stupid now. So I didn't want to do that. At some point you have to know when to just kind of let it in. But if I get a spark and a good idea come along to regenerate it, then I regenerate it.
Why did you take the little boy off the bike if you're too big for it?
He's still worried about the bike.
I'll tell you why.
You wrong for
My
that.
bike was gone. I started flipping out. I got desperate. I'm sorry. I flipped out. I seen the bike. I was jealous that he had a bike and I didn't. And I tried to jack him. But luckily his little sisters came out. They brought me back to my bike. I'm sorry.
You have messages for the older ones, older than us. What would your message be for the younger ones, younger than us?
That's a great question. The message to y'all would be to don't wait until you get 15, 17, 18, 19, 20 to try to figure out what you want to be. Start figuring it out right now, you know, and for the parents to observe what your children do and kind of just peek it and say, okay, you don't have to wait until I'm about to go to college and then, well, what's going to be your major? I don't know. What are you going to be? I don't know. And then you just wasted all those years of time, and then you're 25, 26, 30, and still don't know what you want to do. When I grew up, I wanted to play football. You couldn't tell me I wasn't going to be in the NFL. I knew I was going to be a football player. I tried out for the team. I got cut. I said, well, I'm going to be a rapper full time. Because I was doing that too. But I was blessed, because I'm not acting like I just had no formula, had it all figured out. I just got lucky to figure out that that's what I wanted to do when I was 13, 14 years old. And I knew that's what I wanted to do. I didn't want to do nothing else. So find out what you want to do now. You know, I don't care if you're 6, 5, 4. Focus on that now, because God gave everybody a gift. It's something that y'all can do that can't nobody else do. I don't care what it is. But you got to hone that and cultivate that now. That by the time you succeed, have y'all seen a lot of those stories like in the YouTube where you have these entrepreneurs 10, 11 years old, they done invented something or came up with something, they already millionaires at 10, 11 years old? I mean, it ain't nothing to stop none of y'all from doing that. But you gotta know what you're gonna do, figure that out tonight and start working.
That's what's up.
Okay. To you, what is your hardest lyrical track ever?
Man. I used to say duality. That's the one I used to always say. But now, I've been leaning the last few years, I've been leaning towards Mind Marathon. A lot of people say Perpetual Ascension, but that's not my favorite one. That's not my favorite. It's either duality or Mind Marathon, one of those two, as far as just lyrics. Because I'm always give you one where I ain't got no hooks, and I'm going all the way through. But so either duality or Mind Marathon.
Nice.
So you actually picked one.
Mind Marathon, right there. I love that song.
Shout out to Rob. Honestly, man, like I say, my mama in here, you know, I'm the only child, man, on my mama's side. So, you know, I was always just in my room. You gotta use your imagination, you know what I'm saying? And you just come up with stuff. You know, I had my little men, we be playing and talking, I'm doing both the voices and all that. So, I mean, just use your imagination. I wasn't no great student in school. I wasn't on no honor roll and making straight A's and all that. I was that dude that I got by. You know, it was like you make a C, your mom be like, well, you could have made an A if you applied yourself, you know. But just by being creative, man, just use your imagination. And whatever you want to write about, you study it in advance. You know, you want to know what you're talking about. Well, 3 weeks later,
Yeah, he talked about that.
that album is titled because it's the continuation of a song that was on the first album of the 4-piece. 3 weeks later is the third album on the 4-piece. So if we saw the bike video, I don't want to give away too much. People who got it, they already know. But if you saw the bike song, 3 weeks later is part 2 of the bike song. So as far as the calendar being jacked up, that was just a mistake.
Yeah.
I love to sit here and act like I got some kind of deep little meaning to it and all that. But actually, my homie Jay Walker, who do my album covers, he just made a mistake because, and I probably got to blame myself because I was rushing him to get the album cover done. So he might have just, it's 3/26 on the calendar and 2/15. So it's like the 24th, 25th, 26th, 26th, 26th. So that's what it was. So people thought it had some kind of deep meaning to it, but it was just a mistake. And by the time we caught it, the units was already pressed up. So I was like, forget it.
I have one more question then. What happens on Cinco de Mayo?
What's that?
You have Cinco de Mayo circle. What happens on
A Cinco de Mayo shirt?
circle?
Oh, I don't know what you mean that.
Is it circled on the album?
You know what, man? He did the cover. I don't know. That's new to me. And he a black dude too. I'm gonna have to ask him about this.
Que viva Mexico.
I mean, you gotta adapt or fall off. You know, plain and simple. I mean, I was the one who, when they first introduced iTunes and all that to me, I was like, nah, I'm good. I just sell my CDs. And they had to convince me, like, nah, man, you need to get into this. Because sooner or later, physical copies are going to be phased out. And I was like, no, they ain't, you know. Now you starting to see it. We was talking outside, certain new cars, they don't even put CD players in anymore. Because now you can just pop a USB into while you ride in the car. So if you don't adjust, then you can't participate no more. So yeah, I had to get digital. I had to get a YouTube channel. Everything, I just got to do it my way. You know, I can't do it the way that this person or that person. I got to be me and grow it like that. So yeah, you're right. I don't care how long you've been doing it. If you don't adapt, you're gonna be stuck. Well, first of all,
To judge it.
neither one of us can't cook really. But I'm gonna say this. I see he grabbed the mic because he ready to
Fire it off, man.
But all I'm gonna say is this. I'm gonna leave it at this. Back in the days, if he came to my house and I was making some food, he sneak around and try to get my recipe. He always was there, what you doing? And they say, how you put that together? He always trying to get my recipes. I don't eat a lot of what he eat. I don't eat chicken and all that. So I don't know who food tastes the best, but I know he done jacked a bunch of my recipes.
Well, I had a twist to it. That's why I had to grab this mic, because I knew you were going to go there. I knew you were going to. I have the best food, bro. And besides me, K-Reno Daddy cooks for us also. He has the best food.
Man of the best cooks.
How old are you?
Say, how old am I? I'm
Too
40
old.
I'm 48. That means that, how old are you?
7.
That means I was 41 when you was born. But I'll say this, you know, I'm always grateful when people bring their children out and then they tell me that they listen to my music too and all that, because my philosophy on that is that if I got fans that's 10, 11, 15, that just extends me another 20, 30 years, because they're going to be listening for more and more decades. So when all the old heads play out, I still got y'all.
Yeah.
So I love it. I mean, that's all it was. It was just trying to do something different, trying to go into something that, you know, the average rapper, especially in Houston, not gonna talk about. The average rapper in Houston, they gonna talk about their car and they swing and they got the rim. I'm talking about a bicycle. You know, so just simplify it and just be outside the norm. You know, that's really all it was. No, you know, that's like, sometimes you just know that you put in a lot of work, and sometimes you don't feel appreciated for the work you put in. So you look at everything you did, you be like, man, what else I gotta do? You know, I gotta stand on the Astrodome on one foot and rap with the news team. But you know, you come back to reality because, you know, my fan base and my support system, people like y'all. You know, like y'all drove all the way down here to San Antonio just to come hang out with me. So, you know, that's big. You know,
That's love.
You know, you have to put things in perspective when you start thinking like that. You know, I've been overseas and be in a particular city, and somebody come to me and say, man, we heard you was coming. We drove 7 hours. And we drove 9 hours just to see, because that's the closest we might get a chance to see you. So, man, I thank God for everybody. I thank God for everybody out running to see me at the gas station. They catch me walking through Walmart. She'll tell you where she at. You know, I can be to play basketball, look like a bum. If you want a picture, we gonna take a picture. You know, so because I appreciate everybody, man. I think that's a lost thing in music, because a lot of artists don't pay homage and appreciate the people who actually are responsible for them driving them nice cars and living in them big houses.
You're a blessing to our
I was blessed with us.
All right, I just wanted to say one thing, man. The YouTube channel was a great idea. The
I
Real
wish
K
I did
Reno,
so.
man, YouTube. Because before that, you know, I wasn't on no Facebook, no Twitter. So I wasn't really staying into, you know, what you were doing. But the YouTube channel, I mean, a lot of these questions people ask, if they were watching the channel, they'd know the answers because you up close and personal, you know, with the camera, you know what I'm saying, and you just showing your personal side, like where you keep the books and you know, everything like that. So if people keep up, they gonna know what's going on with you. So
I'm gonna translate
basically,
that.
the YouTube channel was a great idea, bro.
Subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Yeah, straight up.
It's the Real K Reno, and just y'all. I mean, I wish I would have did it a long time
Yeah,
ago.
straight up.
Because I've been just on YouTube for years.
Yeah.
And I was watching people just, they had their channels and all that. If I would have did it 5-6 years ago,
Yeah.
I would probably be at 500,000 subs.
For real.
But whenever you start, you just got to go from where you start. You can't cry about it. You got to just go. So it's doing good. It's
Yeah.
doing real good. So,
Yeah.
yeah, if y'all want to just see what I got going on,
The Real
maybe
K
watch
Reno.
my YouTube, you know.
I got one quick question.
Go ahead.
Have you ever dealt with a major label?
When I was young, I would say about 16 years old, and my dad was financing everything we was doing. I was in the Real Chill group when we gave the album away. That's the record we did, and we flew to Atlanta. We used to go to the, when I say this, I know you're gonna start laughing. We used to go to the Jack the Rapper convention. You know the Jack the Rapper convention?
Yes, sir.
And we went to California, and we negotiated with a couple of labels. And all I can remember, one situation, when we was young, we was about 15, 16 years old, we was at this major label in LA, and my dad went into the room to talk to the people. He made us stay outside, me and my other group members, and all I remember was he came storming out the room, and he was hot, and he was like, let's go. And we sat there for a minute, like, and he said, let's go. We got up in there. To this day, I don't know what happened in that room. I ain't even asked. But, you know, but fast forward, and when I did my first solo album, a guy from Profile, you remember Jimmy Olsen?
Yeah.
Jimmy Olsen had one of my demos on cassette. I don't know what cassette tape it is. And he gave it to a guy who worked at Profile Records. And one day I was at home asleep, and my phone rang, and I answered the phone, and he was like, yeah, I'm such and such from Profile Records. And I was like, yeah, all right. And I'm like, we're playing. I was half asleep, so I'm like, some murder one, somebody playing or something. But then when he started talking, I knew he was serious. You know, Profile, that's the label Run DMC was on, so I was like, yeah, let's do it. But we started negotiations with him. This like 92, 93. I'm just coming into the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I'm going to the mosque of the nation. I'm talking about Mr. Farrakhan on my records. Once they got a whiff of that, they was like, nah, we don't want to mess this guy
Too
up.
much.
So magically, those deals kind of went out the window because and me and my dad, we argue about that to this day. Because his argument was like, man, you should just play the game and just got in the door, then you can talk about whatever you want to talk about. and I was like, nah, man, I'll be a sellout if I do that. You know, we used to go back and forth on that all the time, you know, but I don't regret it, you know, because I think that if I would have played the game back then, I would be gone by now, you know, because I'd have been on some generic mainstream crap and I wouldn't have been myself, or I'd have let them water me down and I wouldn't have felt, I couldn't look in the mirror. So if you got a principle that you stand on, even at the potential chance of losing what you think is gonna be something big, you gotta stand on your principle, you know, plain and simple. I honestly don't think I would be around. When I say around, I mean I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now if I'd have let them take me down them kind of roads. So, like I say, me and him arguing today. Man, we broke because of you. That's what we do.
Hey, I don't have a question, but since we have a lot of younger kids in here, a lot of older OGs, when we first got together, you taught even me and other artists in SPC discipline. So my thing is, I want you to speak on discipline. How when we said something to the media, we couldn't talk to the media no more till you gave us the okay. So speak on that.
All that come from just my time in the nation. It's like, you know, I watch how those brothers and those sisters handle themselves. You have to measure your words. You can't just get up there and say anything, because in emotion you'll say something that you can't take back, and you're not just speaking for yourself in a lot of cases. A lot of times you're speaking for the whole, or you're speaking for an organization. So if you say something reckless, then that affects how everybody look at the whole organization. So if I say something crazy, they're gonna be like, oh man, those SPC cats, man, it was just me that said it. So I gotta be responsible for what I say. Now, behind the scenes, I might be flipping out, you know, but when I step in front of that camera or that microphone, you gotta present it in a way that's gonna be acceptable, not selling out, but to where you don't set up a mind of rebellion in the people when you're trying to get, the object is to get your message out. You know, so I just learned media and learned how to talk to people through being around people who knew how to do that.
Let's give it up for K Reno one more time, y'all.
And again, I thank y'all for coming out, because there's a lot going on in the city today. Y'all could have been anywhere, and y'all came and hung out with your big brother. We'll crank the music up. You know, y'all welcome to chill for a second. We ain't got much time, but
And buy some drinks.
You know, buy some drinks. My man got refreshments for y'all. I'm fasting. I can't drink for a while. It's killing me, but y'all make sure y'all get some drinks, and we'll play the music for a few more minutes and mix it in. If y'all gotta leave, y'all welcome to leave, but I appreciate y'all for spending this time with us. What you got?
My little cousin said that he likes your music a lot.
I appreciate that, man. I mean, I took 700 pictures with him. He out there like he don't know me. Thank y'all, I appreciate that.